It's been 6 months since Apple launched their controversial budget phone, the iPhone 16e. And with every iPhone, there's always a degree of hype and incredible marketing that has us all convinced that this is the best phone ever, or at least the best budget phone ever. In this video, I'll be covering design, battery life, and my user experience. Does it live up to the hype or not? Hey everyone, it's Andrew and welcome back to the channel. It's actually wild how fast time is flying. I feel like I say that every video, but seriously, it's going too fast. The iPhone 16e launched on Friday, February 28th, which is over 6 months ago. And very soon we have the iPhone 17 series launching. And it's very easy to forget that Apple has already launched a new iPhone this calendar year. But I haven't forgotten about the iPhone 16e. And I know there's a lot of opinions out there as to why this is a flop or why this isn't a good budget phone, but I'm here just to give my opinion. Let's start with the design. Something that really is important for me is aesthetic, and I honestly think out of the entire iPhone 16 series, and really out of many of the iPhones we've gotten over the last couple years, this is the best looking iPhone, at least on the back. So it has that single camera look that reminds us of older iPhones, but it also has that beautiful white color. It also comes in black, and it's just a very nice compact phone in a day and age where everything is Pro Max and XL and everything is ultra and bigger. This feels like a very nice size to hold in hand. On the front, of course, you have the notch, and it is very old when you compare it to Dynamic Island. And I honestly think it would have been amazing if they had Dynamic Island on this, but it was never going to happen. It has a really beautiful silver aluminum frame. You get the action button, which is a nice addition, although I never really use my action button. And the build quality overall seems to be pretty good for a quote unquote budget phone. It also matches really well with the Apple silicone case. And if you want a MagSafe case, which we'll get into MagSafe in a little bit, this Ryan London case is also absolutely gorgeous. It's got a beautiful brown leather to it, and it doesn't add a lot of bulk. It's a really nice case. Now, getting into the display, this is where I think a lot of people get upset with Apple and annoyed because you are paying $600 for a phone with a 60 hertz refresh rate display. And I get it. There's Samsung phones that are cheaper that have 120 hertz or 90 hertz, and it is a little bit annoying that Apple can't just bump up that refresh rate. And don't forget the iPhone 16 also has 60 hertz. Seeing that this is Apple's budget phone, you kind of know that 60 hertz is coming. So we have here on this a 6.1 inch Super Retina XDR display. And honestly, it looks great for content. Whether you're watching a YouTube video, or for me, soccer, or just getting into Apple TV and watching a show or a movie, it's a nice display, don't get me wrong. It's great for social media, so like Instagram and Twitter, no problem with it. I'm not a gamer, so I can't imagine too many gamers out there are going to want to be using this phone to game on. Now, does the notch bother me? It really didn't bother me that much. I thought I would miss Dynamic Island a lot more. And it's also kind of hidden when you watch content. So in some ways, it's not even as intrusive as Dynamic Island. Although I do think Dynamic Island does have some good utility. So let's talk about the big glaring thing that I think they could have had a massive win with, and that's there's no MagSafe. Now to me, MagSafe missing on this phone is just annoying. It doesn't have an always on display, it doesn't have Dynamic Island, and it's missing a lot of camera features when it comes to the 16 and the 16 Pro series. It does have an A18 chip though, and you do get all of the awesome features that are coming with iOS 26. Liquid glass looks amazing on this, and honestly, I think performance is going to be fine with it. I used iOS 26 for testing a lot on my iPhone 16, and it has the same chipset, and it's performed pretty good so far. And just in day-to-day use with this, I don't notice any overheating or anything like that, and I try to stay away from creator work, so I'm not using this to record video, I'm not using this for editing or anything like that. This is for the people that just want the most basic, cheapest iPhone out there. So how's battery life? And from my testing, battery life was extremely impressive. I feel like that wasn't really hyped up at all. The C1 modem that is in this phone was really not even discussed a lot, and I don't even recall Apple making a big deal out of it. It's able to extend battery life at levels that I don't even think my iPhone 16 hits. And so I've been really impressed with battery life overall. And I feel like the target audience for this phone is going to be people that really just care Can my phone make it throughout the whole day? And the answer is yes. Now the camera is a 48 megapixel fusion camera, so think of it as kind of like a 2-in-1 when you have this single camera on the back. And it also gives quality video, so you can shoot in 4K, but you're gonna lose features obviously because this isn't a pro model. Features like cinematic mode, shooting in ProRes and stuff like that, but again, that's not who this phone is for. The camera quality is, I will say, good enough. And if you like Apple's processing of photos, then you're going to like this. I do like Apple's profile and it's pretty consistent. I will say using Pro phones, it doesn't even quite get close to the Pro model at all. And whenever I'm zooming in, it gets even worse. It's a little blurry. But for things that are day-to-day, like taking photos of places that you visit, people, food, the normal stuff that you want to post and upload to Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media app you use, like Snapchat, you're going to be okay with this phone. Now, some other little things, 5G connectivity, phone calls, and stuff like that. It's fine for me, I have no issues. Bluetooth, connecting my Apple products to this phone as well is great. And it also has great features like crash detection, satellite connectivity features, which is super important. It's kind of those hidden features that people don't really think about until an emergency happens. Being in Florida, for example, we get a lot of hurricanes, so that satellite connectivity stuff is pretty important. And speakers are good enough. The starting price is $599 with 128 gigabytes of storage. So that is pricey. When you think of budget phone, you think of like some random Samsung phone with a lot of numbers, that's like $250. And I think if this phone could have been somewhere between $399 and $499, it would have been magic. But I want to call out one thing that I think a lot of people forget about, and that's Apple's trade-in. So they're not really trying to get people that have a budget phone to switch. So don't think of it that way. And they're not really trying to get people that have a Pro model like me to switch down to a 16E. So who are they trying to get? They're trying to get people that have an iPhone 11, an iPhone SE, so like a second gen, third gen, or an iPhone 12. Like that series, that range, it's been at least 4 or 5 years since they've upgraded their phone, and they want them to trade in that phone in order to get this one. And so I was looking at Apple's trade-in. If you trade in a third gen SE, you get $100 in stored credit that you can add to this phone. If you trade in an iPhone 11, it's $120. And for an iPhone 12, it's $160, which is a pretty good knockoff. You're paying $450 for this phone, which I think is really good. And remember, these are the type of people that aren't upgrading every year, whether it's a teenager getting their first phone, whether it's someone that doesn't really care about phones upgrading, or if it's some company that wants to buy an iPhone for their business. That group of people is who should buy this phone. Creators, gamers, power users, stay away from this phone. This isn't for you at all. So if you're a tech enthusiast, I know you have people in your life that are literally like, they don't care about technology at all. That's who this phone is for. If you're thinking of it that way, it lives up to the hype. I think it's gonna be a good phone to keep for many years. I suspect if Apple does do like an iPhone 17e next spring at some point, that means the 16e is gonna be like $400. Even better if you can wait till then. So I actually do think it lives up to the hype. It's a significant upgrade from the previous SE model. It's a big update for that demographic of people. And I think this phone lives up to the hype. I don't think it's overhyped. I don't think it's a flop. I think it's going to do very well long term. I really like it. It's not for me, but maybe it's for you. If you have the iPhone 16e, let us know what your experience has been like in the comment section below. I'll be reviewing as many iPhone 17 models as I can get my hands on, so make sure to subscribe for that. As always guys, thanks for watching, God bless, and I will see you on the next video.